up, guys? I'm Kirei, and we are back with more Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. And, we got a lot done last time. So, let's see. Where are we headed now? We're right near Richmond. We just met that one guy. Oh, there's one guy down here in Georgia. Oh, there's one way down in Florida. Y'all, I don't want to go down to Florida. That's so far down there. Tennessee, Missouri. Man, there's not a lot of like... Oh, wait, can I zoom back? Oh, there we go. Zooming out is scrolling up, and that feels weird. That feels weird. I kind of just want to look at, like, there's a horse in Colorado. Let's go to Colorado. All right, we're gonna go down. We're gonna go down. We're just gonna follow 17. 17 south. Whoop, whoop. Let's see, there's a story. So, I do remember we never had enough funny or happy stories. So, we definitely need to get more of those. So, hello? Do you have a funny story?
Of course, times was different then. Not long after you walked into the small, cramped saloon, you found yourself caught by this man. A portly old grifter sat upon an armchair, seemingly placed there just for him. He takes a deep drag from his cigar. Used to have a trunk full of pawn shop violins.
Uh-oh.
He smiles conspiratorially at you. No doubt, this is his default smile. No harm in explaining how it works now, is there? People today don't go for it. Times are too tough.
All right,
you walk into a diner and eat breakfast. Breakfast's the important part. He chuckles for emphasis. And then you get the bill and act surprised when you can't find your wallet.
Okay, then what?
So you put the violin down as collateral while you go back to your car and get it. And that's where the shill comes in. His eyes lean away, as though recalling a face. Something distracts him from his story.
Okay.
Never mind. I think everybody knows how this goes now. Point is, you sell a $2 violin to someone who thinks it's a $50 violin. The burning end of his cigar has gone dark. He rolls it around on a finger, wistful.
Okay.
He was one of the best. Could look in your eyes and make you believe anything. His eyes avoid yours. He takes a drink out of his glass for the first time that you've seen. I couldn't keep working without him.
Oh,
he
did I just turn this into a sad story?
Isn't it obvious? I believed him. By God, I believed him.
Okay. Do I have a forged violin? Like, now I'm curious. Like, because we got that violin from that family. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well. Do I hitchhike? Do I just get down there? Nah. Let's see. All right.
Electric lamps stipple the cotton field before you with an orange light, moving like a group of lethargic fireflies. From the field, the voices of the workers reach you in a soulful, united song.
All right.
You're gently lulled to sleep as the song floats over you. Hello, Lordy, pick a bale of cotton. Hello, Lordy, pick a bale a day.
It sounds like he's saying hello.
You're pulled out of your slumber by a woman's pained scream and a collection of shouts rising from the field.
Force yourself back to sleep? I'm just gonna nope out on that nonsense.
The woman's screams taper off, soon replaced by the raw cries of an infant.
Oh.
Applause briefly fills the night.
It's a happy story.
Eventually fading back into song. Oh, Lordy.
Oh, well, kind of happy. I mean, like, she just, like, pops a kid out in the middle of a field, and then they all go back to work.
You wake up to the gentle crescendo of the worker's song, unsure if it ever ceased at all.
Okay. That was kind of a good song, or a good, story. We don't get a lot of those. Oh, I screwed it up. Okay, hang on. Let's see. Wait. I need to come back in here. Stories. Oh, stop doing that. So I need more stars. Oh, I don't know what it's doing. It needs to not do that, though. We got this one. We got that one. Oh, look, I can swap stories. Ooh. I haven't told the pigeon one. I wonder... Oh, nope. Would not go back. I wonder... Oh, looky. See, it tells me how often I've told that story. Okay, so I need more of the scales. Need more of the moon. I should write this down somewhere. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Getting a pen. So, scales, moon. I still need one more wheel. Got that. Got that. Thunderstorm, farmer. Okay. I don't want to swap. Okay. Need more tower. Yeah, what's that one? Scared face dude. King? No, Emperor. Alright, and how about this one? Gosh, 40 of 237? Holy crap. Okay, I feel like we've got a good mix now. Strange woman who kissed you. Yeah, it doesn't let me go back. Okay. Let's do the old grifter. Nope. Let's see. Oh, and then, okay. Whoops. Forgot about those. So, 2 pentacles. Okay. Yeah, and that's probably the one I need the most of, actually. Oh, High Priestess and the moon. I'm trying to go back through and now underline these things. The scales. Because there's ones I still need some of, and then there's ones I really need some of. Okay. So I have my groupings. Where'd that lady go? Okay, good. She's in here. So I have that. Are there any other ones that I've told too much that I should switch out? Oh, those can't be switched. That one's been told a lot. Okay, so I can, when I get more in this one, I can switch this out. Yep. Okay. So, now we have a plan. I know what I need to look for. We shall find all the things. Hello. Do you have a story?
A sign in town says a farmer is hiring for the sugarcane harvest. A bag-eyed man drives you and 10 hungry strangers out into the cane, where he leaves you. Everyone gets a hatchet, but no instruction. The foreman is missing for some reason. Nobody is sure what to do.
I mean, I feel like a good guess is chop stuff down.
A young man in a red jacket stuffs all the hatchets in his pack. "This is stupid," he says. "I'm leaving. You can get $5 for a nice axe like this." He marches off into the cane, and others follow. "Don't!" a young woman shouts after them. "It's not right."
Yes.
The thief left some hatchets behind, so you and the 3 chumps left start chopping cane. It's brutal work. None of you know what you're doing. "Keep going!"
Clipper things sound easier.
The girl calls. Her hands are bleeding, and her face is bright with sweat. Soon, her cane is piled high.
Ooh, you go, girl.
Sometime after noon, the truck rolls up with a boozy foreman riding shotgun. "Good work," he croaks. The girl wipes her blood-pinked hands on her apron to take her pay, but doesn't notice the crumpled body in the back of the truck, or the hatchets heaped beside it.
Ooh, okay. Well, he did. See, that's why you shouldn't be stealing. Bad idea. Oh, I like this song. This song's good. Hello? I need a story.
No fence, gate, or sign marks the entrance to the cemetery. Just a moment ago, you weren't surrounded by graves, and now you are. How long have you been stepping on dead folks, fully unaware?
Look, I don't think they mind. They're dead.
A wood board, bleached white. Unknown. The word was painted on black by a steady hand, each letter signed with a flourish. Whoever made this memorial had more compassion than money.
Okay, so I want to be compassionate and be like, ooh, hold a moment of silence. But we need the tower. We need it.
The other graves are the same. Unknown. Unknown. Unknown.
Oh, coffee's good in the morning.
Handwritten, nondescript.
Don't mind me, I'm just like
You
sipping
walk
coffee.
for a while, reading every marker in sight, and not once do you find a name.
Aw, that's sad bananas. I want a Viking funeral. I don't need no grave. Ship me out on a boat. Burn it all down. But that does feel a little polluty. But I don't care, because I'm dead. Alright. Almost to Georgia. I have family from Georgia. It's kind of awesome. Although hot. Hot and nasty. And yeah. Pretty though, it's all green there. The whole state isn't burning down like mine. There's that, I guess. Hello? Let's hear my story. Pardon me. Bursts a boy loitering out, or listen to this, bursts a boy loitering outside with this grocery store. He works his way through a long and strange story about the women communing with wood spirits. There, he finishes, what do you think? Wait a minute. Holy shit, you know this story. It's the story of the women praying in the woods, but wildly altered. For a couple of moments, you're too surprised to respond. Seriously, the boy insists? What do you think about that one? That's a great story. He smiles sheepishly. Thanks, he says. I heard it from my brother. Awesome. Women communing with wood spirits. I love it. Love it. I wish I could have all my stories and just rotate through all of them. I don't like that I have to choose.
Excusez-moi.
Beckoning you over, the woman shows you a letter, beautifully typeset on thick vellum. You're struck by the scent of a fancy department store? She points on the parchment to the address.
This address, you know?
Her accent is very thick.
Oh, he does a very good, thick, female French accent.
You are dismayed to read the first paragraph. Lorem ipsum dolor sit amet. And the address under the monogram in the letterhead. 12345 Road Street, Anytown, USA. The woman blinks, hopefully, leaning close over your shoulder.
Oh.
Yes? You know this place?
Oh, no.
She asks. Poor woman. She's been tricked.
Oh, I don't need any more of these stories, but like... Guys, we're gonna do a bad thing!
You send her around a nearby corner at random.
Merci.
She exclaims, clasping the letter to her bosom, stars in her eyes.
Oh, no.
Enfin, mon héritage attend.
She hurries down the street, gone before you can change your mind.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, we're gonna go here.
Faded shotgun
I think that's all the scales I
sit
need.
in rows under the tall shadows of smokestacks. A worker in full uniform hollers from a porch. Hey, traveler! Throw me inside. Got some literature here.
Literature. Okay.
As you shut the door, the man glances out the window and draws the shades. Landlord toss you out? Ha! Don't mind me, it's none of my business. He pries up a floorboard with a crowbar.
Whoa! What is happening?
You glance over the man's shoulder to see inside the compartment. Canned goods, a pile of leaflets.
We're just gonna
Woodstock
casually
of
pretend
a
we're not
rifle.
looking.
He replaces the board and stands.
No, it's no big deal. Look it away.
He hands you a can of whole potatoes, then a leaflet which reads, "No evictions, no fascists, no hunger." Headed back to the shop, but we'll have a Bible meet soon.
All right. Bible me?
Bible meet. If you don't know James 5:1 by heart, learn it. That's our favorite scripture.
Cool. Interesting. I don't know what just happened. Hello. Hello.
Evening there. You looking for a sermon or just a chat?
I just want to chat.
Don't really matter, frankly. First thing I ever learned behind the pulpit is that every homily is just a conversation.
All right.
Ain't as one-sided as you might think either. Preachers ain't shepherds. They're cowboys. They got to run with the flock, keep them directed without fencing them in.
But cowboys usually keep their flock fenced in.
So how about you take a seat and guide us somewhere? You must have seen some pretty wild stuff on the road.
Dude.
What's the most exciting thing you've seen?
You don't even know. Exciting. All right. What we got? What we got? Scarecrow. I'm gonna start forgetting these stories. Lighthouse keepers, ancient battles. Fisherman. Creepy mill. Strange woman who shared a moment with you during the eclipse near Columbus. Exciting. Exciting. I know I got exciting ones. Where you at? Dubious but promising miracle growth. Monster. That one's pretty good. Okay, so maybe under that. Franklin's Travels. Dead woman in the yellow ribbon. Silent twins. Soldier. Letter delivery. No. The White Deer's pretty good. I want to tell this one because that one's like always the best exciting story. Rider in the woods up by Buffalo. Mischievous ghosts. Huh. You know, I wonder if I tell the whatchamacallit story with the Thunderbirds, and then that's maybe my last one. Might be the last one. Okay, Thunderbirds. Exciting.
You've got a pretty wild life. You know that?
Dude, you don't even know.
Freedom? I have it now. I hear it a lot. You give the best sermons I ever heard, Brother Jimmy. Why don't you become a pastor and start your own church? Well, I like the freedom. Jesus didn't preach to the Canaanites alone after all. So no church or temple or praise house for me. My congregation is America itself.
That's gotta be kind of cool. Just like a traveling preacher.
Lately, my journey's been pretty ordinary. Just walking church to church. What about you? Been on any adventures?
Adventures. Now I gotta go back through all the things again. Ancient battles. How about that one? That seems adventuring.
Huh. That one's trying to be scary, right? Don't work on me, I guess.
Aww.
The past? Huh. My earliest memories of my mother and father teasing each other, laughing about something I didn't quite understand, putting on voices, playing games. This was back before she passed.
Aww.
Hey, do you have any spooky campfire tales? Feels appropriate out here, right?
Dude, hang on. Monster in Cleveland.
Oh, come on, that's ridiculous.
What?
Home? Never had a home.
Wait.
Not the way
Hey.
y'all talk about it anyway.
You asked for spooky, I gave it to you, sir.
Pops and I had a little trailer for the summer he was wrestling in Atlanta. But otherwise,
Maybe the
it was a
Horseman
new
would've been
floor
better.
every week.
Ask for spooky again.
You must have seen some pretty wild stuff on the road. What's the most exciting thing you've seen?
I need spooky again. That was exciting. Petunia.
I swear I ain't heard a story good as that in a long minute.
Yes, you did. The one I told before it.
Joy? Well, you ever heard that gospel music round Chicago way?
Yes.
Now, I get it. Maybe a little ostentatious for some of the more reserved clergy. But it's got joy in it like the Lord put in the disciples, I tell you what. Lately, my journey's been pretty ordinary. Just walking church to church. What about you? Been on any adventures?
Oh boy. Creepy mill. Fisherman calling his seagulls. That's kind of adventurous. I don't know. Silent twins. That one's creepy. sugar cane cutters. I don't know what he wants to define as adventure. Fortune teller. Ah. I don't know, let's try the last bottle of vermouth. I don't think it's gonna work.
Different folks have different senses of humor, I suppose.
Okay, so you want like a funny
Bondage? Yeah.
story?
Met my daddy's daddy once.
I don't know, his eyeball's open.
One time is all I needed to know that some chains ain't ever coming off you. Don't matter what sort of proclamation a white man in a suit makes. Well, I gotta get moving on. I have a sermon to give in the morning. And the church is a long night of walking that way.
Okay. Is there anybody else down in Florida? Oh. Well, maybe there is, but...
Walk like you're blessed, child. Because even if you ain't, that's the only way you'll find your holy self.
Ooh, that's a fun little saying. Walk like you blessed. I like that. Okay. Is there another... Hang on. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta keep going south. I keep hitting the shift button because I'm like used to like trying to go fast at like that's sprinting in like every video game. Alright, let's pick up these stories real fast and then we can pause here. Share the bus stop with an old man who shifts from foot to foot, thumbing his suspenders and watching the passing traffic with anxious focus. Hey, he blurts suddenly, turning towards you. You want to hear a good story? With the air of a man who's distracting himself from something, he stumbles quickly through a tale about the man who sought to feed the starving through science. Confusing himself now and again, backtracking, adding new details out of order, you barely piece the story together. Wait. Starving? Oh! Suddenly realize that he's told you a twisted version of the story about the dubious but promising miracle growth formula, but massively changed with whole new chunks you don't remember. So true, the old man insists, turning his wincing eyes back toward the road, and with that, the conversation seems over. Thank you? Huh. Oh, why is this one kind
The
of gray?
shanty sits on the shore like a lie on a con
Oh,
man's
my.
tongue, crowded by thick-spined trees. There's an old man on its porch, and a child, and what looks like 1,000 alligators
Dude.
knotted across the property. My love's being stubborn, sighs a voice behind you.
Is it the one crawling into the house?
Washed in the half-light, the voice's owner is a certain strange shade of handsome. He leans a shoulder against a tree, smiles at you. You gotta help me talk some sense into her. All I need is 5 minutes. She won't let me through.
Okay.
You follow him as far as he'd go, up to the border of alligators,
Oh my.
their tails twining around your legs. Woman, you best come out. Ain't no time for foolishness. He calls out, but no one replies. The man then looks meaningfully at you.
Oh. We're just this is our solution to the alligator like moat sing?
You open your mouth. What comes out isn't a word, but the note of a song you'd not been taught. At the noise, the gators twitch like you'd run barbed wire along their bellies. Go home and leave the gators, says a voice from inside. You ain't wanted here.
What is happening right now?
Well, you know that's not how it's done.
When a man loves a woman, she stays with him forever. Now you come out now, for my friend sings a bayou down to his death.
The man and child do nothing.
We should stop singing.
You keep singing. All three of you cut loose from personal choice. A woman emerges. Blunt black hair, hungry eyes, face full of warning.
This ain't your fight, stranger.
She tells you gauzily, storm cloud eyes holding your own. Suddenly, your throat's your own again.
Oh.
Leave.
What do we do? What do we do? This is creepy. Let's do it again. Because why not push our luck?
She sighs, and the alligators stir at the sound, the light catching in the crenellations of the spines. And for a second, looks like they're all frowning, not smiling as reptiles do, but scowling like a crash of aunts.
Fine.
Oh boy.
Death comes without incident, for all that it arrives in a torrent of teeth and thrashing tails. Unlike lovers, the alligators bear no interest in causing pain. When they are done, they all turn to stare until you go.
What just happened? The man and the witch in the bayou. Okay. That's weird. That's so weird. Okay, let's grab this one.
The soldier sits in the dirt with his legs splayed out, like a child would sit. Beneath the tattered fabric of his antique uniform,
Oh,
several open wounds fester in the hot sun.
let's help him.
Lend a hand, traveler? You kneel in front of the soldier. His body is marked with bullet holes,
Oh,
along with deeper wounds that could be from knives or bayonets. Maggots
Ew.
squirm inside the raw, red flesh. About time I earned an amputation. You seen any bluebellies around?
oh, gross.
The soldier leans in, uncomfortably close to inspect your features. Were his pupils solid white before now?
Oh,
He tilts his head, narrows his eyes, sniffs you. What are you, stranger?
a skeleton with a bag.
A shadow falls
Uh-oh.
on the soldier's face. You damn Yankee!
Uh-oh.
Pulls you in by the wrist and drives a bowie knife into your gut.
Whoa!
As the blade bites your flesh, the soldier stares into your eyes, his body dispersing into the wind like a cloud of dandelion seeds.
Rude. Rude. Hey, look, it's that one guy. The bar is crowded with people from every walk of life, businessmen, young men in muddy overalls, and a crowd of girls in slinky dresses, preparing their blood alcohol content for a night on the town. And it's the squat, sharp-eyed man in the fedora who catches your attention. Start a conversation. He launches into a wild story about the Scarecrow possessed by the ghost of a vagrant. Halfway through, he stops, recognizing the look on your face. You know this one? You tell him the story about old Barney the Scarecrow. That's it? I think I like mine more. It's more exciting for sure. So that's why I'll keep telling it my way, he says. Let's get another round and do a competitive test on the other folks here, shall we? By the end of the night, the whole bar agrees the new version is better. It might be because your new friend bought them all drinks. Solid. Scarecrow possessed by a ghost. Okay. Oh boy, I'm not doing so hot.
You emerge from the underbrush and find yourself at the edge of a field. A farmhouse sits at the other end. Close by, large family is tending to the plants together. They pause and regard you, almost nervously.
Hello there?
The grandmother asks.
Hello!
The family is almost too nice to you. When you ask for water, They don't even let you walk to the pump by the house. A child runs back to the shed for a folding chair, and they serve you lemonade in a glass among the lettuce heads.
Thank you.
Halfway through your glass, you notice someone moving furtively down by the house. The cuffs of his white shirt are stained red. The father sees your look and shifts to block your view. His eyes are bright, and his teeth are bared in something like worry.
Oh boy.
How do you like your lemonade?
It's mighty
His
fine.
wife arrives with a bag full of sandwiches for you, and the whole family ushers you back into the woods, waving, wishing you well. You take one look back over your shoulder. The man by the wall is gone.
Guys, that was creepy. Hey, look, I got half a heart back. Thanks, very kind folk. All right, that is totally where we're gonna stop today. So, thanks so much for joining me. I'm Kiri, and this has been Where the Water Tastes Like Wine, and we will be back for another episode of cross-country trekking, storytelling, super fun alligator excitement. Yep. So, throw a like down on the video below, and, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these, because I put them out every single weekend. It's kind of cool. Alright, thanks so much. Bye, guys!